Hey, this is The Social Tea, and I'm Sharonda Lee. I talk about all things social, including celebrity news, reality shows, what's going on in pop culture, local news, and more here in these YouTube streets. Now, we know folks always get in their feelings about what's said here on social media, so I must say, what's stated here is alleged, my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Make sure you visit my website at www.thesocialteatalkmedia.com and also follow me on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also known as X, and TikTok. Also, check out my podcast, The Social Tea Off the Air, on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Now, y'all, I stay on ready, so make sure you subscribe to my backup channel. I am Sharonda Lee, The Social Tea, here on YouTube. Now, before we get into it, make sure you hit that notification bell, like, share this with everyone you know, and subscribe. Now, with all that being said, relax, get comfortable, and let's get into the tea. Married to Medicine, Season 10, Reunion Part 3. Starts out with Phaedra and Apollo makes an appearance. Andy asks her why she thought it was important to invite Apollo to the reunion. And it's basically because Toya's messy behind was asking questions about Apollo and the dynamics between Apollo and Phaedra when it comes to raising their children. So I felt like Phaedra basically invited Apollo to stop whatever thoughts you got about my ex-husband when it pertains to me and him raising our kids together. I'm gonna nip this in the bud right now. We co-parent our kids well, even though our marriage um didn't end on the best note. We're still team parent. So that kind of deaded any conversation or anything that these ladies was going to say about Phaedra and Apollo. She deaded that right then and there. I also think that she invited him because she didn't really give. We thought Phaedra was going to give this season, and she did. So that was a kind of like her one up, like her ace in the hole. So we get past that portion of the conversation, and Andy goes to Cecil, Simone's husband, and basically asks him about his comment when he said that Dr. G leveled up when he married Sweet Tea. Of course, Cecil came up with some lame ass answer. Um, but I believe he meant what he said. I think that he was insinuating that, Gregory has gotten better, or Sweet Tea was better than Quad. He tried to fix it and clean it up, but I really wasn't buying it. When they get to these reunions, they, you know, look at the show and see some of the things that they say, and they try to clean that whole thing up. But I do believe that um Sweet Tea is a little bit intimidated by Quad, is a little bit intimidated by her presence. Um, that may be able to question it in her mind of how Gregory still views his ex-wife. Because clearly she's just a tad bit bothered, just a little bit bothered. It was stated on what happens live. Basically, Quad stated that Sweet Tea was a better fit for Dr. Gregory because she can be influenced by him. Quad is older, and I do agree to that to a certain extent. Yes, I do believe because she's a lot younger than Gregory that she can be influenced. I do believe that Quad at this point, because him and Sweet Tea have not been together as long as him and Quad has or was, um, Quad knows Dr. Gregory a lot better than Sweet Tea, even though they're not together and it's her ex-husband. I see that Quad, or she's asked questions and she's giving her answer, and I think Sweet Tea um is annoyed by it, but again, she was asked a question. I do believe that Sweet Tea is a little bit naive when it comes to Dr. Gregory, because we did see in this season where she sat with Dr. Heavenly and basically told Dr. Heavenly that Quad might be right about some of the things about Dr. G. He is kind of controlling. I do believe that if she's going to remain on the show, the more they stay married, the longer they stay married, the more she's going to start to see things about him that Quad was talking about. But I do think that she, again, is annoyed by the presence of Quad because I feel like she watched this show, she was a fan, and she went after him, which was fine because remember, him and Quad have been divorced for years, but she went after him, and I think that she kind of low key kind of wanted Quad's life in a sense, but it is what it is. Mind you, didn't we all hear Quad say that Dr. G and Sweet Tea are a good fit for one another? I don't understand why she had an attitude. She does not want Dr. G, and that's going to be always looming over Sweet Tea's head if she stays on this show. If Quad stays on this show, is Gregory looking at her? Does he want his ex-wife back? She is annoyed by Quad. Quad is not annoyed by her. Quad is like, little girl. So we get back to the situation where we're talking about, did Dr. Gregory, did Dr. G date Phaedra? Were they together? Did they date? And pretty much Dr. Gregory basically said that Phaedra asked him for $4,000 a month because she wasn't going to be with somebody that couldn't take care of her as well as she could take care of herself. Phaedra then asked him basically, what exactly did I say to you? Were we ever together? Were we ever, I think she was insinuating, were we ever intimate? Um, and pretty much Dr. G says, you were that girl, you was, dating all the ballers at the time. And so, in a nutshell, I believe it was what it was. She asked him for money every month to take care of her, and it was nothing wrong with that. But I don't understand why she just won't own up to it and say, yes, if he was going to date me, I require this. And there's nothing wrong with that. He couldn't do it, he couldn't afford it at the time. Clearly, Dr. Gregory was probably feeling Phaedra, like he probably really liked her like that. But she wasn't feeling him because he couldn't afford her. Is it me or is Sweet Tea throwing shots at Quad? Like why? Like why? She doesn't want Dr. Gregory back. She does not, because clearly if she wanted Dr. Gregory, she probably could have him. We're in it for the long haul. That's what Sweet Tea said. Okay, girl. Okay. I'm just gonna skip to the situation where they all took the trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And, they started talking about how, well, Simone started talking about how pretty much heavily inserted herself in the situation because Simone felt like her and Jackie had been friends for a long time. And if Jackie had a problem, Jackie would have told Simone. Simone said, after she seen Dr. Jackie's face when she told her where they were going, after she seen her face, she immediately knew that Jackie didn't like the fact that the couple's trip for the year was planned at Hilton Head, South Carolina. This is what I have to say about this. Dr. Simone sits out and screams out, oh, me and Jackie, we've been friends since the 90s. Then, girl, then, honey, you should have known your friends since the 90s did not want to go to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And why would that even be on your list of places to go? Now, Dr. Simone also said that Jackie's friendship with Dr. Heavenly is drawing a wedge between her and Jackie. Yes, I believe that. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Um, Dr. Jackie is nice nasty. Dr. Jackie does not speak up. She allows other people, especially Heavenly, in the most recent years to be her mouthpiece. And, before all this stuff happened with Dr. Jackie in regards to, what she said about black women, I was okay on Dr. Jackie. But I believe what Mariah said. She's nice nasty. She sits in the cut. She does her little mean girl shit. And then when it all plays out, she's in the bushes. My thing is, if that was my friend, I just would have told my friend, honey, no, we're not doing that. Mm-mm. But it's a two-way street. If Jackie and Simone have been friends for 20 plus years, they've been friends since the 90s. Simone should have known not to do a couples trip in Hilton Head, South Carolina, where Jackie's husband was found cheating. That's a no. You could have went anywhere else in the world. Why did you pick Hilton Head, South Carolina? But what I also believe is the producers kind of egged Simone up to choose that place so that it could be a story. Okay, at this point, I'm clearly over this reunion. They go over the whole 10 years of Married to Madison, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, all the issues in each marriage on the show. They do highlight Quad and Dr. G's marriage. And as they're doing that, you can see the screen of the cast actually watching the rollback. Um, like I said, I do think that Sweet Tea is a little bit intimidated by Quad being on the show. Um, and I just think I'm not even gonna go over the rest of the reunion because at this point it got a little bit boring for me. But I will say this is, oh, we're on season 10. This is the reunion 3. Supposedly, everybody squashed all their beef on the show. So we'll see how next season goes. I think there's going to be issues with Quad because if you didn't watch my previous video, Quad was out in Atlanta partying with the who's who of Atlanta. She was not partying with the um, married to medicine women. And I think that's going to be an issue. If they haven't kept in contact with each other, that's going to be a further issue. But just check me out on my next video.